Hey guys, 91 Extreme RT here with another Diablo 3 Wizard build, and now this build is going to be for Archon. I was playing my CM all the way up until Paragon level 20 on this tune, and I am currently Paragon level 21, so the last two Paragon levels I've been playing Archon, and it is really fun, and I wouldn't say it's more fun than CM. CM Wizard is good if you have a lot of packs on a higher MP, or monster power level, where they stay alive a little bit longer, and it's a little more fun to play that way. So like softcore MP10, it is really fun to play. But for hardcore, I found that Archon is actually a lot more efficient, and it's about just as safe because you kill stuff that much quicker. So let's go into the abilities here. Now for your main spam ability that you're going to use when you're out of Archon is going to be Spectral Blade and Healing Blades. Now this ability is pretty much at your discretion, whatever you want to use. I personally use this just because, in case somehow I pop out of Archon, but most times when I'm running runs, by the time I'm done with a run, it'll say that there's about 8 to 10 minutes left on my Archon, so there's not an issue there. These other abilities that you're going to want to use, Magic Weapon with Blood Magic for the Lifesteal, Diamond Skin with Crystal Shell in case you do pop out of Archon. You can bubble yourself quick and use Spectral Blade for healing yourself, so it's kind of a safety type thing. Energy Armor with Prismatic Armor, because while you're in Archon form, when you get the 40% resistance and armor bonus, this extra 25% from Energy Armor really boosts your resistances, so it's really good. And familiar with Sparkflint for an extra 12% damage. Now, for the abilities, especially for hardcore, like I'm on, I use Unstable Anomaly. Obviously, it's kind of a given, so you don't get killed. Blur for 20% melee damage reduction. And Galvanizing Ward. Now, a lot of people use Critical Mass. I don't find it useful to use Critical Mass due to the fact that as long as you start in the Festering Woods, or you start in Weeping Hollow, you will never run out of your Archon thing, the whole run. So you'll never run out of that ability. So I use Galvanizing Ward, so that way my armor buff can stay up to 5 minutes, or up to 4 minutes. So instead of popping out of Archon to rebuff with energy armor every 2 minutes, having this Galvanizing Ward will allow you to have it up for 4 minutes, so that's twice as long. So that's twice as long that you don't have to worry about rebuffing, and I find it more useful, especially with the 620 life per second that you get while it's up. So now for gear, I had about 10 million in gold worth of gear for my hardcore wizard here for CM, and I'm in the process of re-gearing it, and I'm up to 102,000 with my buffs here. Let's see, let's take these off. Without my buffs, well, my Sparkflint's still up, but still. I'm about mid 80,000 DPS, which is pretty good for hardcore. And you don't really want to stack attack speed. Your main stat that you're going to want is crit and then crit damage. With the Archon spec, with the Disintegrating Beam, your main spam in Archon, this one right here, it really doesn't matter. What it matters, or what it reads as damage from, is your paper DPS. And by paper DPS, I mean what it says right here, what it says. So, like I said, I'm currently re-gearing, but I do got a Mempo. I got the Tull's Amulet and all this other good stuff. I got the Triumvirate, and I got Echoing Fury with Lifesteal. Now, that is the most important thing about the spec for survivability, especially on hardcore, is that you need a weapon with Lifesteal. If you can get a Lifesteal weapon with a socket, then bonus for crit damage or anything like that. Now, I say Lifesteal and not Life on Hit, because with the Inferno 80% debuff on Life on Hit and Lifesteal, having the 2.2% Lifesteal when doing, buff up your 102,000 DPS is a lot of healing, and that's only on one target, when you're hitting one target. Now, if you had Life on Hit, because of the 80% reduction, you would need about 3 to 4,000 life on hit to match that 2.2%. So on your other pieces of gear here, you want to stack intelligence, vitality, armor, and crit chance and crit damage for the biggest, bonus. So, and also for gear, like say the Tal Rasha's Allegiance, 6% to holy damage. That, along with, like the set bonus I have here, the fire skills do 3% more damage, lightning skills 3% more damage, and along with the triumvirate with all the extra percentage damages, them factor into your disintegrating beam in Archon form's damage. So that's why I use that versus like a Chantoto's, because it does give you substantially more damage. So, like I said, what matters is going to be your paper DPS, and that's about it. And for skills, you can use critical mass if you really want to, but I found it better to actually have the better healing per second and the longer duration on your armor, so you don't have to keep rebuffing it. And I do find that more often than not, my buffs will run out here, and I just won't put them back up. I mean, I kill stuff plenty fast even without any of these buffs on, so... that is about it for the build in general. I'm trying to think of some other things here, but being hardcore, obviously I got this all stacked with vitality gems. Now if you're on softcore, it doesn't matter if you die, so stack it with intelligence or what have you. So hardcore gearing's a lot harder than softcore, so obviously if you are on softcore, you are going to want, let's get back to the regular screen here. You're going to want like a Nat's ring in Nat boots, or I should say the Zunimasa's Pox ring in the Zunimasa's trail boots. You're going to have the Witching Hour. You're going to have a badass Mempo of Twilight. You're going to have a badass set of either Strong Arms or Lacunis, etc., etc. So softcore is a lot easier to gear because the better gear is a lot cheaper to get than on hardcore. So, but on hardcore, for being hardcore, this character is pretty built to begin with, even though I'm still wearing half of my CM wizard gear. So let's go do a run, and I'll show you how this spec works. Alright, now that I'm in a public game here, I'm going to buff up, go to the Festering Woods, pop Archon, and go to town. Alright, I got to find a bunch of stuff to kill here. Alright, let's hand it to him. And it's about that easy. Yes, this is MP1, but for hardcore, I do the videos on MP1 because that's what 99.9% of the people on hardcore farm. So when you're doing public games, that's where you're gonna be. So that's what this spec is built for. All right, and that's about all there is to it. The spec's really easy to play, really fun to play. Um, as you've seen there with in that last little dungeon there, or that whatever, I was attacking elite mobs that had the thorns buff up, that return a percentage of the damage to you. So, and you can see I was staying on full health the entire time because I was doing so much damage to them, and even with my 2.2% damage or lifesteal, I was staying alive. I was staying right at 100%, because that's just how good lifesteal works on this spec compared to life on hit. So, all right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little spec video, and I will see you later.